Okay, so I've watched the show on MTV Catfish before, but never the documentary that started it all. I found it to be very well filmed. I liked how they used music to set the mood. They played happy music when the relationship was blooming, and then they played eerie music when they found out that Megan didn't live where she said she lived. I was blown away from the fact that Angela, the mother, created 15 fake Facebook accounts and had 3 different phones just to maintain this relationship with Nev. I knew she was lying right off the bat when she said to him, the first thing she said to him was, "I just found out that I have cancer." You shouldn't ever use that as a lie because it's not nice, and a lot of people have had that happen to them. But regardless, I'm surprised how well he kept his composure, because if it were me, I would have left right away and probably would have said a few nasty things. But it was nice to finally figure out what catfish actually meant, because I didn't know what the term meant prior to this film. Chris Swen says, an interesting character study. Catfish isn't necessarily a bad film. In fact, it's pretty powerful once it gets going. Tony Heck says, a documentary about meeting someone on Facebook and wondering if they really are who they say they are. Surprisingly gripping. And finally, Ryan says, try to avoid as much plot details about this dark and compelling documentary as possible. From Rotten Tomatoes, Allie Gray says, Catfish is a unique documentary like Capturing the Freedmans. It starts out as one thing and mutates into a completely different, terrifying animal halfway through. And Felipe Wars says, it's gripping, heartfelt, and occasionally laugh out loud funny, only let down by a directionless ending. This documentary is about Nev, a guy who receives paintings from a young girl named Abby, and they build a relationship online and over the phone, and he primarily talks to her mother. Nev then decides to pursue Abby's older sister, and they talk for a couple months and get serious. And then one day Megan sent Nev a personal song which she said she came up with on her own. Well, they Googled the song and found out that it was already made by somebody else. So everything starts to go downhill from there. They start doing some detective work and find out that Abby's building that she puts her artwork on display has been empty for a while, for actually a couple months. So Nev is very curious, and him and his buddies decide to go visit Megan, and they come to realize that she doesn't even exist, and it's actually the mother of Abby that is living through Megan. She actually created 15 fake Facebook accounts and had 3 different phones to maintain this relationship that she considered her alter ego. The term catfish refers to a technique that sailors used to use to keep cod fresh from Alaska to China. Before they used to ship the cod overseas, the meat would go bad. So somebody someday figured out if we threw a few catfish in with the cod, It would keep the cod agile and fresh. In terms of people, catfish is a term that means people that keep you on your feet, they keep you guessing, they keep you on your toes, and life would be boring without these people called catfish. So the moral is be careful who you communicate or start relationships with online because it could be a catfish.